My sister plans to legally change her name to my name, so I confronted her.
That's honestly just too confusing. If we're being honest.
We're going to figure out what's going on here. I really need help. If you can think of a better subreddit, let me know. My sister is trans and has been in transition for about 2 years. It's been a long and complicated, but we've always been really close as siblings, and I have supported her through it all. By the way, this comes from Walrus with an I. And if you want to send in your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit and send them in. Now, at the beginning, she wanted to be called S, which is the first letter of her given name and is also the first letter of my name. So we all embraced her as S, and it was great. Last week, I logged onto Facebook and I saw that her name had changed to my name. Interesting. My exact name I thought was a prank. I got you. Guys. We're figuring it out,
guys.
We're figuring it out. And you know what? Well, it's going to be fun. And we're going to make it part of the stream, okay?
Shout out.
We're just throwing mice around.
Yeah,
okay?
shout out to Mice Window, guys.
Shout out to Mice Window.
That was actually Mice Window that we just passed over there.
So last week, I logged into Facebook, and I saw that her name had changed to my name.
Okay. Because, I mean, maybe that's just an oversight. Maybe
she forgot.
Maybe she just woke up and was like, am I my sibling?
Dude, could be.
Could
we
be.
Don't know. We don't know. My exact name, I thought it was a prank or something, but I called her immediately and she was basically like, yeah, I really like that name and I think it fits. No asking if it was okay or saying, gosh, I hope you don't mind. Just total casual oblivion, Opie says. My name is really uncommon. It's not Ann or something like that. Shout out to all you Anns out there.
Yeah,
no offense.
Shout out to Ann getting dunked on right now.
It's not some coincidence. And I asked her if there was something to this, and she just sounded like she didn't really get why I was even talking to her about it. My name is also my brand. I am a relatively well-known freelance designer, and my name is my business name. So I'm knee deep in my name. That's what I'm saying. Then yesterday, I heard from one of her friends, and she is planning on formally going through with a legal name change. I wanted to support her like I always have. We're so close, and I have always been a huge advocate for her, but I am having an incredibly hard time accepting this. Am I making too big a deal about it? Can anyone tell me what's going on? Thank you so much. We have an edit. But before we get into that, my good friend Dakota, I do have to pose something to you.
Yes.
If I had a sibling also named John Fry, if you had a sibling also named Dakota Payne, does sound kind of fun.
I mean,
does sound kind of fun.
It probably would be, best if you were tight-knit with that person.
Yeah.
So that you guys are kind of a package deal, right? Where you go, they go. Where I go, you go.
Dude, twins would that be?
Or maybe,
crazy.
Like it's John and then John, but spelled with no H, just Jon.
Oh, yeah.
So there's just like a technically
I'll give them that. They can
distinction.
Take that trash. Yeah. Like garbage. It's garbage.
John appreciates his H's, okay?
Listen, if you are a John without an H, I don't want to talk to you ever.
Really quick side tangent. Did you know that H is the only letter in the alphabet that has no sound? Like try to say H by itself. It's just an exhale. Nope. But it's not like a phonetic sound.
So edits. Thank you all so much for the advice so far. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I feel a lot less unreasonable. I'm going to call her again and invite her to dinner tomorrow or Friday. I might invite one of our mutual friends who she really respects and tends to listen to when she doesn't listen to me, but I haven't decided yet. I don't want her to feel ambushed. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep you all posted, definitely. Bonus edit, since a lot of people are saying that using a throwaway doesn't help with my situation, is so unique. Yeah, I guess when your whole story revolves around your name, not having your name, it would help. It would help.
Yeah.
When my situation is so unique and identifiable by people who actually know me, oh well, I just didn't want people I know looking at my posting history and seeing it there. But if they stumble across this, hey, it happens. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, the update.
The update.
Or should I say, update's sister update. Here's what happened / is happening. I talked to one of our level-headed mutual friends who has been really great at getting through to my sister in the past when I haven't been able to. She told me that this subject has been a huge thing in their circle of friends with all of those giant Facebook groups where people were trying to figure out what was going on. Several thought the same change was some weird prank or something, like I initially did. So apparently all these Facebook groups and all their homies are like, what's going on? Who's who?
Yeah. We literally can't tell the difference. And were they really that close to you if they're like, we no longer know which one is which?
Yeah, guys, like, come on. We got to figure this out. The mutual friend informs that no, it isn't a joke. So everyone was trying to decide how best to approach it. But so far, no one besides mutual friend, who was the one who told me that she was going through with a legal name change, had actually talked to my sister about any of it. So the question then was whether it would be better if her friends talked to her about it, since they could provide an outsider non-family perspective, or if it was better for me to do it. After going back and forth, we decided that I should do it. So I called my sister and we made plans to get dinner together the following day, Saturday. But that night, Friday, my sister went out to a Halloween party with some of her friends, and one of them decided it would be a really great time to confront my sister about the name change, and did so, saying completely untrue, inflammatory things about me, like that I was going to file a restraining order if she took my name.
Wow. Oh my God.
This is not helping the situation, but math. That I was embarrassed about her being trans. All the people who were there and witnessed it tell me it was really, really bad. Mind you, I'm about 800 years too old for this kind of crap. That's a lot of years too old.
Yeah.
Around John's age.
You know, right around the same. So my sister calls me wasted and crying, and she's hardly making any sense, and I have no idea what is going on. I go pick her up and get briefed on what happened by someone, and my sister is furious at me, but then she's also too wasted to really have a meaningful conversation or direct her fury in a constructive way. So I get her in the back of my car. She falls asleep.
She yarks.
She yerks.
Yorks.
She yoinks. Family is great.
What a classic combo.
Dude.
I'm pretty. Didn't Taylor Swift make a song about that?
Oh, yakking.
Barfing in the back seat, and then I fell asleep.
That's a song?
Might be. No, it's not a song.
I'm about to say, dude, Taylor Swift retire right now. Dude, get out of the Grammys. No more award handings
for you. It's a deep cut. She was unreleased.
Golly.
Yeah.
Golly. So I set her up on my couch and spent all night figuring out what exactly to say. I read through the responses to my original post again and tried to compile the best advice into a concise, meaningful statement against taking my name. I wanted to go compassionate, reasonable route and not the I'll sue you route.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think you could do that. And then also, has anything been done legally yet, or is this just on Facebook?
It's not even on Facebook. So literally, she was going to like have this great sit down talk with her. I'm like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. But some random a friend at the party confronted her, and she was like, you're out here stealing Opie's name, and so Opie's going to file a restraining order against you if you do that. And then also, she's not supportive of transition and all this stuff. And Opie's like, that's literally not at all what I'm doing. So there's just misinformation, dare I say, yakking around.
Sometimes people just like, if the situation doesn't concern you, mind your business sometimes.
Mind your business. OP literally, and also it was the friend group that collectively, the friend group even talked together and decided to let OP handle it.
Yeah, this is weird.
I said basically, I love you tons and you know that, and I've always supported you through everything, always. My name is my identity. It's important to me, blah, 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 blah. Your identity is important to you, blah, 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 blah. She had been listening the whole time, then interrupted me and responded with the following direct quote. Wow. Butthurt much?
Oh. Well, now she asked you. She gets your name. It's too late.
You butthurt, bro?
It's too late. She got you. You're butthurt. Got you. Now she owns your name.
Hope he says, yeah, that's right. Wow, butthurt much. Yes, all of my years of support and undying love and advocacy, and I get a wow, butthurt much. So now I'm actually peeved, and I am slightly less nice and more realistic about the implications that us having the same name would have. She says, you're making a big deal over nothing. And I say, my identity isn't nothing. It was like a Lifetime original movie. I ask her to tell me why she doesn't think this is a big deal. She says that people have the same name all the time, citing some kids that lived on the same block growing up that were both named Thomas. So one was by Thomas B. One is not like the other here.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally your sister and like...
Well, the context of this argument essentially boils down to, my feelings matter more from like both sides. And it's like, I think the one with precedent wins. If it's been your name your whole life, And you go, and you have a business surrounding it. It's like, no, it's my name first.
And also, like, maybe there's an ulterior motive here. I don't know. Because it's like, y'all, there's so many other names. There's so many other names.
Like, literally, you could pick out, like, I had a friend growing up, like, their family, they had, like, 9 siblings, and they all their siblings, their mom and their dad, all their names started with J.
That is illegal.
Dude, well, that's my family. Riley, Ryan, Richard, Ryder, and then my dad's name's Ryan, and then my grandpa's name's Richard.
So you get it.
She was saying it wasn't a big deal. I said that it isn't the same at all because we are directly related. Thomas B and Thomas K. No, that's no way. It went around like this for a while, and I was growing more frustrated, and I was worried I was going to say something I would regret. So I had her call a friend to pick her up and got out of there before I lost it. I told her I wanted her to really, really think on this decision and if picking my name was really being true to her unique self. And that although we clearly don't see eye to eye on this right now, please just promise me you won't go through with a legal name change at this point. She rolled her eyes, but agreed. Pinky promised. So there's that. That's more important than a legal document. But then she said, I don't know why you're making such a big deal about this. So that was Saturday morning. Okay. Sunday morning.
It's just so ridiculous. I don't see why you're making such a big deal about this. You're also making a big deal about this.
Yeah.
You're making it a big deal that I won't let you have my name. So what do you mean?
Yeah.
Why am I making a big deal out of it? You know why.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like they are doing the same thing to each other. And instead of like, OP came to the table, which, hey, this is not necessarily the wrongest approach ever, but OP came to the table and was like, here's why I like want this, right? What if it was like, hey, I want to hear why you want this. I want to like understand where you're coming from and like what your feelings are on this. And like, I'd love to share too after, but we can kind of share, you know.
Just feels like a fixation to be like, I need your name.
Yeah.
My sibling,
No,
I need your name.
So on Sunday morning, I wrote to her and reiterated what I had said the same day before, but also told her that I need some time to cool off from this whole thing. A lot of people in my original post responded that they thought that she was just playing this off as something mean to do, something sinister, like steal my credit rating and open so-and-so bank accounts in my name, or that she's envious and that I was born in a female's body and lived the same life she is, from her point of view, could have easily had, one that was free from painful struggles with identity. I definitely do not think that the former is true for a multitude of reasons, but I do think that the latter holds a lot more weight than I previously thought. She does see a counselor, and I'm sincerely hoping that she is talking this out with them. Once I calm down a little bit...
Yep.
Once I calm down a little bit, I may see if she would be interested in having a couple of sessions together. I am hoping that this passes, even though that this is happening and all very uncharacteristic. She isn't usually lacking this much in empathy and clueless seemingness. But for now, she is not going to legally change her name, and that is a small victory, and we will see what happens next. Thanks again for all the support and advice in my original post. If people are interested in what happens next, I will keep you posted. Now, about my parents' involvement of all this, for those who are asking, here's some of my parents. When my sister came out to them, it was a mess. Actually, before we get into this, how are we feeling right now, Dakota?
I mean, victory, right?
Yeah, at least for now.
I mean, let your sister try to steal your name in a non-legal capacity, maybe?
I don't know. It's better just weird. Than, I guess, that, but...
They will, if you stop fixating on it, I bet they will move on. That's my gut check here, is that it's like... By feeding into the like, no, you can't, then it's going to be like the, yes, I can. And if you just are like, fine, whatever, you're not doing it in the courts, then it's just going to be like, all right, I'll be someone else. At some point, that's my bet. That's my guess.
The whole journey of transitioning is a journey. So probably like in her like in what's going on with her right now, maybe there's something going on where it's like, I see that my sister got to live this life and I want that. And this is a way of like, it maybe feels comforting, like things of that nature to her. Like, I get to finally I've like idolized and kind of like wanted my sister's life. So this is kind of like the crown jewel of me, like completing this journey.
Which is so funny to me because from my perspective, it's like, that's a completely hollow, empty thing. Like to be like, I want the experience of my sibling, so I'm just going to make my name theirs. That doesn't categorically change anything about your experience or your perspective.
It doesn't change it in I think it's like OP was saying, it might just be a mental thing.
That's exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, hey, like, what about stepping into like your shoes? You know,
right?
Your new journey as like becoming your own person.
Yeah, and it's like you can want to emulate your siblings, but like emulate their behavior, emulate their decisions. If they're like having a flourishing career, it's like maybe you want to emulate their work ethic. Maybe you want to emulate their drive.
But we have more to this story. About my parents' involvement in all of this, and for those who are asking, here is the deal with my parents. When my sister came out to them, it was a mess. They were a-holes. They bought her a gift card to a Men's Warehouse and books about how to be a real man. Nice.
Okay, hey, that's not abrasive, right?
Not at all.
Cool.
Hey, how to be a man 101.
I just told you I'm not, though.
They purposely misgendered her, etc., etc. Now, this was only 2 years ago, mind you, so it's not really water under the bridge. Still fresh ones here. My sister was obviously really hurt. I don't know all the details, but my parents ended up changing their tune pretty quickly. I don't know what caused it, but they apologized profusely, and my sister forgave them after a while. But since then, there is no getting them to weigh in on anything or talk to her about anything. It's sad and totally unfortunate, but I can't change how they're acting. It's best at this point to keep them out of it because I know if I approach them with any of this, they would just shrug. But you know what you can't shrug off?
What?
104 days.
Oh.
104 days of content that you could be listening to right now.
The math has been done, folks.
If you go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, any of your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime and just click play, we can be hanging out with you for 104 days straight,
just
nonstop.
Continuous.
Allegedly.
That's like basically a third of a year.
Dude, wait till we get to a year. We're adding numbers on the board. Like Sophia's just ticket face.
Dude, I mean,
there.
we're adding numbers every day.
It's just spilling out
every day,
everywhere. But we're almost done with this story. We don't really seem to be coming to a resolution at all.
I mean, I think, nothing's happening legally. It's more just like a weird thing you're gonna have to deal with, and I really do think maybe like a counseling session, like a group thing. I don't know. It sounds like there's some unresolved, like deeper, psychological things going on there.
See a counselor together.
Yeah, just to
sisters.
like get equal with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just feels like there's something being unsaid.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think that a group counseling session will help get to why does the sister want OP's name? Because it's like there's a trillion names out there. Why specifically hers? I think answering that question will help them come to a resolution with this.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota, I told you he was always right.
No,
I told you he's always right.
It's the axolotl, guys.
It's me.
A shodel?
The shuttle.
What's the name? Dakota
I think it's like a shuttle.
A shuttle. Right.
Shuttle.
You said that,
shout out to the country of Mexico where these are mostly found,
dude,
I think.
Shout out to freaking Mexico.
Shout out to Mexico.
Shout out, man. Anyways, we're getting back to the story. The reason I'm being so patient and nice with her is because I am patient and nice with the people I love. It takes a lot more for me to get to that point, but once I do, I don't give up easily. I am not, as someone suggested, giving her a trans pass to go wherever she wants with no repercussions, to do whatever she wants with no repercussions. There it is. I've always been real with her, but I am also cautious about my words around people I love because in the past, my realness has resulted in me saying things that I didn't really mean. This might sound contrary to everything you know about my sister at this point, so you'll have to trust me. She is not one to be overly dramatic or use her identity challenges as a means to manipulate people. She's usually calm, cool, collected, freaking cool sis.
Yeah.
Okay. The current situation is very unlike her, which, just to put a bow on this, leads me back to what Dakota was saying. Go to a counseling session together. This is totally out of character, which to me means there's something going on under the surface, that this isn't just like, oh, like, I like the name. I feel like there's something more, and that you'll get closer as sisters by going into counseling.
Yeah,
together.
I think maybe the whole wow butt hurt much was maybe just her being defensive. Maybe just because not everyone can like logistically or feasibly make counseling happen. So if you can't do that, just try to have like a heart to heart deep talk. Just be like, I'm not coming to you in like a what's it called? Like an accusatory or like I'm just trying to be neutral here. I just want to know why you need to have my name.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that is so non-negotiable at this point in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the necessity there? And then if she's still like, wow, but hurt much, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell
If
you,
she
bro.
won't open up to you, she won't.
She won't do it.
So maybe, encourage her to find someone she can open up to.
My boyfriend's sister-in-law gave him a personal gift for Christmas, and it bothered me.
How personal are we talking here?
That's the question, my friend.
Well,
throw away because I don't want this connected to my account. I just wanted to start by saying that I realize I might be totally wrong and insecure in this situation. I just really want another perspective or something because I just can't help the fact that this bothers me and I am admittedly feeling jealousy. By the way, this comes from Adder1452, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime and send them in.
that's right.
So I've been with my boyfriend for 6 months at this point. He has 4 siblings, 3 brothers and 1 sister, and we are the shortest relationship in the family. 3 of his siblings are married, and the other is in a very long-term relationship. I think the shortest relationship in the bunch is 5.5 years.
Well, that's a lot of that's the shortest one?
That's the shortest one. That's as short as it gets, Dakota.
That's a lot of top-down pressure.
That's correct. Hey, make it to 10 or you're chopped liver, okay? Bad joke. I will admit, I am a bit intimidated and insecure there. For Christmas this year, his sister-in-law made him a homemade plushie of this little blue baby dinosaur-looking character from his favorite game, Guild Wars. The plushie is amazing quality, and he absolutely loved it. But she didn't make one for any of the other boys who also love the game just as much. Not even her husband, who also loves the game. In fact, she went out of her way to give it to him without his other brothers around except for her husband. Her husband was just as excited for her to give his brother the gift as she was, but it just felt off to me and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
Sorry, no, I wanted to just say that it's crazy that they both enjoy the game, and it's also crazy that we all just lost the game.
I graduated middle school, Dakota. I've graduated.
You're the worst. Come on.
Well, you did too. So, and now like 800 people. So here we go. Why would she work so hard on something for my boyfriend and no one else? And it just felt like such a personal gift that I could never match. And I just felt like she totally took away from what I gave him. I did try talking to my boyfriend about it and how I thought it was weird. He said he didn't think it was weird at all because she had always been closer to him than the other brothers. Well, shouldn't she be closer to her own husband than him?
I mean, that's
Dakota, are you sure? Are you sure you shouldn't be closer to your brother-in-law than to your husband?
that does sound really weird out loud. Yeah. And probably it feels even weirder seeing it in real life.
Well, he didn't get a plushie. I don't know. I asked him if he would give it back to her, saying he can't accept it, and he refused and said, I'm ridiculous. That's maybe a little too far, but we'll keep going. I just feel like a woman doesn't make such a personal gift for a guy unless they see them as something more. It's just how I was raised, and I hate feeling this way about something like this. I talked to my mom and sister, and they both agreed that it wasn't right and that this was most likely the beginning of her trying to push me out.
Are we sure about this?
Dude.
This is a lot to assume from one gift.
Yeah, this is...
Like, do
This
these
is
people
too
just
much.
suck at gift giving? And they're like...
This is, yeah, I think they're... I mean, listen, we do some crazy conspiracy theories. This is overly rich. Let me just say it. Let's talk about it for a little bit. So, she basically wants to... Or she is putting her own feelings onto the situation, right? It is possible that maybe she thinks he's like the biggest fan of it or whatever. Do I think it's like a little bit much? Yeah. But like maybe truly in her head, she's like, oh, hey, like, let me do this. He really loves the game the most of the brothers. That's what she thinks. And I'll make it and he'll love it. It'll be great. Also, keep in mind, the husband was there and was also like just as geeked to see him get the gift. So it is at least totally plausible that she did not have any bad intentions with this.
Yeah, because like you also would want, because is it the husband's brother? Or is it a different, it's her husband's brother.
Yes, it is OP's. Are they married? Yeah, it's basically her brother-in-law.
So, like, why would you want
the husband and his sister-in-law? OP's man and his sister-in-law.
It's like, look, by the title, I was thinking it was something that maybe had batteries and that you use in the dark. But like, you know what I'm like. I would be way more uncomfortable with something like that than something like this. This just seems like it's kind of mostly, I don't know, like it's
Christmas for the whole family.
Thoughtful, like I don't know.
It could just be thoughtful, a thoughtful platonic, like family gift.
Yeah, and it's like you want to have a good relationship with your brother-in-law anyway. Like,
no.
Oh, no, you just want that. I don't want peace. I want problems always type beat. Yeah.
That is the quote I've been looking for. I want problems, not peace.
I don't want peace. Yeah. I want problems always.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
So yeah, I feel like they're jumping to a conclusion, but maybe they're not.
Yeah.
Maybe
they have more context that we don't.
That's right. You know? That's right. Okay. So we're going to keep going. So I just can't help but feel like she was trying to make him like her more than me because he said that she has never given him anything before and this is our first Christmas together. I just don't know what to think or if I'm overthinking this completely. And we have another update and I'm not going to overthink it and dive right in.
Bang.
So my first post wasn't popular by any means, but it got a decent amount of comments, so I figured I would update. I went a few weeks without saying anything else about the subject because everyone on here seemed to disagree with my side of things. Then, last Saturday, he told me that he was going to be spending the day at his brother's just to hang out. We generally make plans on Saturdays, but I hadn't had the chance to make official plans with him yet. I just figured it was implied at this point. So I asked him if I would be allowed to go over there with him. That's when he told me that it was just going to be a day with him and his brother. So I reminded him that since it's his brother's house, then most likely his wife will be present too. So I didn't really see how it was fair. Ultimately, it blew up. And I told him everything, brought up the gift again, and just how I feel intimidated by everyone. And feel like his sister-in-law is on some pedestal or something because she gets to be there and I don't. I also mentioned how I just feel like I was being pushed out by her and the gift made me feel uneasy. And maybe I guess the argument is not this is necessarily trying to get with him, but is she trying to put her to shame to kick her out of or like shame her out of the family? Which is at least more plausible.
Yeah,
I'll
but
give her that,
like, and the shame is coming from like what? Like you're.
Oh, where's your custom-made plushie and custom things and everything?
Exactly. So it seems like this is coming from. Wow, she gave such a better gift than me. Now I feel like that's a problem.
Oh, right.
Right,
She's
where it's like,
yes.
And there's sure there could be, but there's not enough info so far in this post.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that in the comments for this. One of the top ones is going to be info. Why do you think this? Like, what other things have happened to make you think this is like she's cares more for the brother-in-law than her husband? Like,
yeah.
Where are you coming from with that?
Totally. Yeah. I think someone said that. Oh yeah, Miss Jaybird. OP is hella insecure. Like, yeah. I think that she's like kind of projecting a lot of stuff on these issues when it's like you don't know that. For a fact. Yeah, we can't just like blanket assume.
It's like OP's like, no one reacted like that to my Hallmark candles that I bought.
Well, they stank.
People.
They stinky candles. It doesn't smell like cinnamon. It smells like rubber.
Those mugs is like Gwyneth Paltrow candles. For real.
Are they good? No free sponsors. What the freak am I doing? I'm going to get back to this story. So here we go. He was frustrated and told me that he was going to his brother's and that he would talk to me later. So I spent all Saturday morning on edge and he just completely jealous. Then around 1 p.m., his sister-in-law called me. I guess he gave her my number and asked me if I was free to meet her for some coffee. I was confused, but agreed to have coffee with her. I expected it to be awkward. At the coffee shop, she wasted no time to tell me that my boyfriend had told her everything. Dude, L move on boyfriend part. Just go like you have a conversation. Yeah, maybe she's being insecure, but like don't go freaking run and tell her immediately.
Yeah, not a cool boyfriend move.
Not a cool boyfriend move.
Not at all.
She said she wanted to meet for dinner because she wanted me to see her face and see that she was genuine in everything she has to say. She wanted to explain that she had no feelings for him in the way I was implying to him and no intention of pushing me out. She said her original plan was to make the plushie for all the boys since they play the game, but it took her way too much time to make one, so she gave it to her favorite brother-in-law.
I mean, okay.
I think I think I could believe this.
It's like if she did this and then gave it to her ex-boyfriend, then I'd be more like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's her brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law. It's like,
not
hey,
that
like,
weird.
Everyone, you want to make a good impression in the family. You want to build a good bond. Like,
yeah, I don't see anything optically wrong with that at all.
I questioned why not her husband, and she said that she lives with him and he knew she was making it in the first place and that she could make him one anytime and just wanted to give that one to be a surprise Christmas present. Again, facts are checking out. I told her that I still kind of thought it was inappropriate since he was in a relationship now.
Sorry, I just realized where all this is coming from. It's all the there's got to be this like crazy emphasis on the long-term relationships and the respect and the boundaries and this and that, and it's like the hyper fixation on that, and I just feel like this person's like, well, I mean, this is not that serious, where it's like,
This needed to go to your husband.
it's like, wow, and it's like, I could live, I live with the guy.
Sabotaging
I could
herself.
give this to my husband any day of the week.
Yeah. And she's like over analyzing, like, oh God, I've only been in for like a year, and it's like they're like 5.5, and like frick, like you're just trying to like show me off because you're like in such a long relationship.
Yeah, and it's like, no.
Come on, it's okay.
This is just human behavior. It's
okay.
Normal human behavior.
So I told her that I was still that I still kind of thought it was inappropriate since he was in a relationship now, and she just paused. It didn't say anything for a few seconds. Then she asked me if there was anything else that was bothering me. Dude, the more I hear, the more I'm like, dude, the sister-in-law is freaking great. Like, she's navigating this. I used today as an example and said it bothered me that he went to her house and told me I couldn't come because it was a day with his brother, even though she would obviously be there.
It's still fishing though? Because, wait, am I confused?
The other day, OP's husband was like, oh, hey, I'm going to go hang out with brother. You know, I'm going to spend some time.
Right.
She's like, well, can I come? He's like, well, this is kind of like, brother time, hanging out. But you said it was brother time. But guess what? You're there, sister-in-law. How can it be brother time if you, sister-in-law, are living in the house that you co-own with your husband? Allegedly.
It's like, right. It's like, but his wife is there. It's like, yeah, she is. But I'm hanging out with him.
Yeah.
It's like, what
dude,
are we talking about?
Probably just like freaking watching some soaps or something while they're in the boys' room.
Yeah,
doing boy stuff.
It's literally being like sus about like, yeah, but his wife is there. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, how about you why don't you get in the car, get out of the house that is your house, get out of your house and drive away. Drive away because you are clearly ruining the sanctity of boys' time.
Can you imagine saying that to your wife? Hey, you got to get out. It's boys' day. Go. Just go. Get. Like,
Bruh.
what?
Yeah, Dread 04.
Like, it's like a pet. Like, you just let her out. Like, what are you talking about, OP?
So she told me that it is a day with his brother, and that just because she lives in the house doesn't change that. She said that she just kept to herself doing her own things while the boys played video games with each other, and that my boyfriend came over to her when she was in the kitchen to talk to her about me briefly. I didn't say anything. I still felt a bit jealous, but I just didn't know what to say. She then asked me if I had anything else I wanted to get out, and I declined. She said that she didn't want to part ways without giving me some advice. She went on to say that she thinks I'm a very nice girl and that the entire family feels that way, and wanted to remind me that all of the spouses and significant others were new to the family at one point. She then went on about how it takes time to feel a closeness with everyone and that she went through it too. Again, I can't see the error.
Yeah, it sounds like one person has a healthy comprehension of like relationship dynamics in a family, and the other one might not. Crazy hot take there.
Stay toxic. Stay freaking toxic.
So God, Florida John is here today.
Florida John, baby. Canadian Tux John from Florida.
Dude, what's crazy is your jean jacket blends into that couch. exactly.
I am the couch.
He is one with his environment.
You're so right, though. She then said that she didn't want to come across the wrong way, but that I needed to work hard on my insecurities or else I would lose my boyfriend. She went on saying how I am so nice and that I'm ruining a good thing by letting myself overthink these things and by being so insecure. She told me to really think about how I am acting over his own sister-in-law interacting with him. That's when my stupid brain made me say, well, if you were to get a divorce, then you wouldn't be his sister-in-law and you would be just another woman in his life.
Oh, that's a great hypothetical. Hey, if the moon were made out of cheese, would you eat it? Because that question has about the same weight.
I love cheese.
Oh, God.
Give me the moon cheese.
Hey.
I want it.
Hey, if the moon were made of spare ribs, would you eat it? Like, what are we talking about, folks? That's not the case.
I mean, that'd be fire, though.
It would be fire.
That was the moment that it finally hit me how crazy I was being. She gave me a look and said, well, we aren't getting a divorce, so yeah.
Yeah, it's so, yeah. Well, that's not happening. Anything else? Yeah, what if oh my God, the Huns are attacking. Oh, the Mongol horde is, oh wait, no, they're not. They're not here.
It's nothing.
Well, if the Mongol horde came and
Come on, no.
and raided our villages,
It
then
ain't
maybe
happening.
it'd be different.
It ain't happening, Jan. And I just felt completely embarrassed and apologized. She then very nicely told me that on second thought, she thinks I might not be ready for a relationship at all and that I really need to work on myself. That was pretty much the end of it, and we parted ways. I spent the rest of the weekend crying and hating myself. Oh no, my boyfriend didn't call me or text me at all. Finally, on Monday, he asked if he could come over. So he came over and asked how it went with sister-in-law. And I figured he knew everything, but he said that all she said was that he needed to talk to me. Turns out that he didn't talk to me all weekend because he was angry with how I acted about him going to his brother's house and then bringing up the gift again. And he just needed some space. I mean, honestly, I kind of,
I don't like the ghost. If that's the case, just say that. Don't be silent about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Say it.
Communicate.
Be like, I just need some space from you this weekend. We'll talk on Monday. And it's like, don't freak out.
Yeah.
Still care about you. I just need a little time to like process my thoughts solo style.
We're going ghost.
And like people just need to learn how to respect that and not freak out about it. Because if you freak out about that, I don't think maybe you're ready for the real relationship.
Tell it.
Or a healthy one, at least.
He's spitting hard facts, dude.
Because sometimes separation is healthy.
Spitting hard facts, man. He told me that he wasn't going to put up with this type of behavior and that it is putting way too much unnecessary drama into his life. As I'm sure you're all probably guessing, he proceeded to break up with me. We weren't guessing that. That's not what... Were you guessing that?
I mean, I was kind of thinking it was leading there.
I didn't even see the you, bro.
It just seems like...
It just happened so sudden. I just wasn't ready for it.
I feel like this isn't the first time something like this has probably happened. And it's also like, it might have been a game time decision. Like it might have been like all right, I'm taking some time to collect myself. Now I'm going to go meet back up with you and let's talk. And like literally it could have been like in the moment. Like I'm realizing through this conversation now that it's like, I don't think we're going to be compatible if this is like your point of view. If this is your perspective, I don't think that going forward, I think we should just stop wasting our time and figure something else out. And I think OP definitely needs to like spending the whole weekend like being angry at yourself and like hating yourself over this is like not the right way to go about that. And it's like, you don't need to, what are the ages here? Like the early 20s, 40?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hold on, let me see.
I mean, there do be you're never too old to be emotionally immature.
We don't know, but remember, I think there's an age disparity here too because everyone else has had 5.5 year relationship.
Yeah,
this one is like really new.
So there's probably that top down pressure too from the family of like, oh my god, I need to be in this long relationship and it needs to be this and it needs to be that and blah 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 blah. And
but self-imposed.
And the boyfriend is just like, hey, maybe I'm not about that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
As I'm sure you're probably guessing, he proceeded to break up with me. He told me he really cared about me, but just can't imagine how bad it will get in the future if I'm already acting like this with people who are family. I begged him not to leave and that I would do everything to change. and he just wouldn't budge.
Yeah, no, it's just, hey.
Two got a tango, man.
I don't think you're ready for a relationship like that, OP. I think you need to do some work in the. I think you need to get cooking in the mental kitchen, get a little perspective, maybe do a little. It's so easy to just, and I do realize it's so easy to say you just need to go get some therapy.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot more that just goes into that.
Yes.
It's really easy to say that.
Yes.
But like that is the best way, I think, to approach a situation like this where you're kind of like lost in your own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending a whole weekend hating yourself.
The same
That's
way
not cool.
that remember when she was like, oh, I said this out loud and I realized how crazy it was? Guess what happens when you say out loud all of your thoughts to someone else unfiltered and have a space for it?
Yeah. They're able to go, hey, maybe let's unpack that a little. Let's revisit this sentence.
Yeah.
Can we analyze that a little more critically? And then you go, oh my God, you're right.
Sister-in-law wants to F my boyfriend because she made him a plushie.
And it's his favorite game?
Now, I will say therapy is a good option, but there are other things like, if you go to Spotify or Apple Podcast or your favorite podcast app, and look, you do this thing called typing. You search OK Storytime. There are 104 straight days of content that will give you good goofy advice. Good advice goofily.
Good advice goofily. That is
so
true.
that is also, hey, listen, guess what? Guess how expensive is that, Dakota?
Literally, like well, I guess it varies. It depends on where.
It's free. It's free.
Does it? Is Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Spotify is free, isn't it?
All the podcasts are just free. For
yeah,
everybody.
that's okay. So yeah, it varies from free to also free, and also $0. Yeah,
exactly. All three of those. Me, myself, and
yeah.
I. So
you just need to have a device that you can listen to it on. So however much that costs is how much it costs.
Well, Dakota gets the full Excel spreadsheet of all the costs.
It's like figuring out like the carbon emissions cost of like it's like, all right, well, they burned this much diesel to mix the concrete and then make this and then do that and then blah 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 blah. Yeah.
We're gonna get back to this story while Dakota puts that together. So I haven't heard from him since, and I feel like I had my heart ripped out and stomped on.
Oh my God.
And I know that this is all my fault. I have my mom and sister telling me how it's good riddance. By the way, she learned this from the mom, I think. There you go. And how he broke up with me so that way he wouldn't have anything holding him back from his sister-in-law. Oh, and this just broke me.
So there's the top down right there. There's the top down pressure.
I am so done with my family and the way they put these toxic ideas in my head.
Wait a minute. What?
This is OP's family.
But right. So wait, is OP self-aware?
She now is, but it's too late. It's too late.
Okay, that's confusing to me. That just really threw me.
Well, I mean, she did say, like earlier in the conversation with the sister-in-law, she did say this is when I realized how crazy I was.
Well, I hope
she has some self-awareness, but then keeps tripping over it.
Seems like she immediately became aware that her family is the one poisoning her brain here.
I think she knows that,
which is great. That's good.
Yes. So yeah, not a happy update. From here, I am planning on working on myself and hope to someday maybe convince him to give me another chance. I don't know why I wrote this update. It just feels so good to get out, I guess, and further convinces me I need to change.
Here we go. Hey,
we're left on the cliffhanger, but you know what? Hey, just get on that train and just keep going.
Honestly, that's not even to me. That's not even a cliffhanger. That's like you've now become acutely aware that your family is toxic and you have behaviors you need to change, and that's like a lot of people have to spend a lot of time in therapy to even get there. So like you're doing great. Don't, try not to focus too. I gotta say they gotta be young if that's how they're thinking about the 6-month boyfriend and like all this stuff. It's like, I get, 6 months is not a nothing relationship for sure, but it's also not like, clearly this was not a soulmate or type scenario. This is not like the end of your romantic life. It's like, you don't need to, I would not get hung up on this one guy being like, maybe I can get him to take me back. It's more just like work on yourself, focus on you, and then the right situation will find you.
And when you're doing all that self-work, how well is that going to prepare you for the next relationship? Like you are going, I feel like OP will look back on this, especially now that she's being aware. She's like, I want to keep going down this path. Like, I feel like she'll look at this as kind of like a pivotal moment of like,
yeah.
So get ready, folks. My sister disrespected my boyfriend at a party, but my family wants me to apologize.
You should just be the bigger person. No.
And squash them.
Yeah. Yes.
Squash.
Like a bug.
Oh. Hey guys, this is a long one, so buckle up. There's a couple of people in my family involved, so bear with me. So I, female 31, was invited by my mom to attend my nephew's first birthday celebration for turning 1 year old. Congrats, baby.
Hey.
Keep in mind, my mother invited me, not my sister. By the way, this comes from Soggy Swing 2709. And if you want to send in your own soggy story, go to r/storytime. Freaking send it in. Now, this was in November. I, of course, am going because I love being an aunt and want to be supportive. At the time, I was 7 months pregnant with my second child. When I was visiting my mom's house, sister, female 39, was also there, and when discussing plans for my nephew's birthday, she tells me that I don't have to come and that my first child, who is 3 years old at the time, can come.
How are they going to get there?
Baby car.
They're 3. Oh, yeah, just like one of the little, they just like waddle.
The Fred Flintstone. Bro, when I was scooting. I could have gone there.
You're just like, sorry, boss, I was late to work because I got stuck behind one of those baby cars.
Dude, maybe I couldn't poop in a toilet, but could I drive a baby car like 10 miles to my auntie? Yes, I could.
100%.
Yes, I could.
100%.
Now, I was shocked, but told her, no, why don't I come to my own nephew's birthday celebration? I thought it was weird for her to say that, but I brushed it off at first, and it went right over my head that my mom, 56, sent me the invite, not my sister, via text in a cute invitation flyer. So just breaking that down so I understand that OP's mom had sent OP the invite, not her sister, but the sister's now saying that she can't come. When I read the details, I saw my sister and her child's father wanted to have it this children's event space, which is 40 minutes into the city away from my house. This meant getting on the expressway, and in that direction, I get anxiety. So maybe is it like you don't have to come if you don't want to, because I don't know if you don't want to go there.
Yeah, I don't. Is this like a tactical? They're like, oh, well, I definitely know she won't go because she doesn't like driving on the highway in that direction. Which, like, you know, to each their own, but quite ridiculous to be like, yeah, just let your 3-year-old go without you. What is that? What is that?
Yeah, that's a little bit insane.
What does that take?
Yeah, this is weird. I'm confused. So my pregnancy wasn't as smooth sailing, and I had some difficulty. So I asked my boyfriend of 8 years, 41, if he could take me, and it would be nice for us to buy a gift as well. At first, he didn't want to go, but of course, seeing as I'm pregnant and he's super supportive of me, I didn't have to convince him to go. For context, my sister dislikes my boyfriend, and he doesn't care much for her either. For years, she would walk past him and ignore him. Rude. She would make him feel bad by acting like a total witch towards me, even at other family gatherings. She would ask me, why is he even here? Or, I thought you were coming alone. And proceeded to ignore him and me the entire time.
What is this? They're just like, why didn't your baby come here alone?
Just bring your baby to the bar.
Like, your baby's so great, but you guys are trash.
Let's give that baby a bottle.
Yeah, just like, what? Like, do they, yeah, dude, I'm stupefied here. I just got hit with the stupefy Harry Potter.
Ooh.
Stupefy.
Nice.
Ka-ping! And I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on, guys? I don't know. Babies can drive cars? Ooh. You have a husband? No, I don't know how to act in a social setting? That's crazy.
That is the wife right now. Oh, that's the sister.
Oh.
Now, she had a nasty attitude. She's known in the family as the one with the bad attitude, tough exterior, the don't mess with her. And no one has held her accountable for all the time she's made people who come around her uncomfortable. And though we are grown now, my mother doesn't do anything to check on her on how she acts, especially towards me and my partner. Like this past summer, she cussed at me and my boyfriend out through a text over a misunderstanding and made it about my boyfriend as if I was in the wrong. She has made me feel horrible for years ever since I was younger. She wasn't so nice growing up, and it has affected my self-esteem and not knowing how to stand up to her. But as the youngest of 3 girls, I was always deemed the spoiled one, and I've never disrespected either of my sisters.
See how they didn't deny that they were spoiled, though? I've been considered the spoiled one, but I never disrespected my sisters. But I was spoiled. It's the youngest effect. It is what it is.
I mean, the youngest effect is very real. Very, very
But there was no disrespect.
But there was no disrespect.
But I was spoiled.
Allegedly. Allegedly. So fast forward to the day of the birthday party place. which was further than I expected from our house. And with no parking available, street parking up north is a nightmare. Come visit LA. I was so glad my boyfriend drove. I came into the party happy and all smiles, ready to have some fun. And if we recall, just a quick foreshadowing, sister said, you don't need to come. Okay. But she's there.
Exactly. Is is the rug? I sense the rug. The hands are on the rug and the rug is getting ready to be yanked.
I came in with positive vibes just for my sister to act standoffish with me the entire time. I was oblivious as to why. But for context, remember when I said she cussed me out like I was a random person on the street? She also cussed out my boyfriend in the text, calling him out his name. Yeah, so she gave me a weak apology and I felt it wasn't genuine. I told her she had no reason to do that to me, absolutely no reason, and she chose to hurt me with her words, and that I would appreciate if she left my boyfriend out of things and didn't call him out his name. She tells me she doesn't have a problem with him and she'll only speak to him if he speaks to her first. Mind you, him and her haven't had any verbal altercation, and through all the disrespect over the years, he's been calm, cool, and collected. But he's slowly distanced himself from my family, especially my sisters, who he tried his best to be cool with, only keep in contact with my mother. But lo and behold, a verbal altercation happened at my nephew's birthday party. Yes, the one turning 1 year old.
Gotta love that.
In case you forgot.
Gotta love getting into vocal spats at the toddler's birthday party.
Dude, that is maturity right there.
Yeah,
That's how
definitely.
you know you've grown
You
up.
know how to read a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? What's happening?
I guarantee you they won't even remember when they're older.
Dude.
That's right. It'll just get baked into their frontal lobe. They won't even know why they are the way they are.
And then they'll access and be like, that's crazy. I'm a madman. As I was unaware because I was too busy mingling with my mom's friends, who I invited because my sister doesn't even have mom friends. Heck, she doesn't even have friends, period. So the verbal altercation happened because she hit my man with her child's car seat, said, excuse me, but didn't give him enough time to move, in which he only called her a weirdo, and she hit him with, you're a witch.
I'm guessing that you're actually the witch.
That's what it sounded like. This is you're trying to do some sorcery to turn it around,
Yeah.
but it is on you.
You're trying to cast, I am rubber and you are glue, but in fact, it's you stink.
Wingardium Leviosa. Which, how I didn't hear that happening, I don't know. But my boyfriend didn't say a word to me about it. Neither did my mom's coworkers, who were there as well with their grandchildren. Not until we're getting ready to go. I had already said my goodbyes to everyone else and was going to say goodbye to my sister. I almost forgot to tell her about the gift we brought because she was barely speaking to me. So I came over to say goodbye and give her a hug. She had this angry look on her face and was stiff when I reached for a hug. I finally asked her what was wrong, and she immediately loudly shouted at me, "Your witch booty baby daddy!
Hey, maybe don't say that.
He can't handle these car seats I'm chucking at him.
Maybe don't be saying that.
Hey, your man can't handle a car seat. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. He's not built for it."
Man's not built for the car seat. Man's not built for it.
Dude, he called me a weirdo. The quote wasn't even over.
He called me a weirdo. Well, you're acting like a real weirdo, dude.
That is so true. That is, wow. I was completely taken aback. And at the same time in my mind, I was like, what? That's it? That's what got you so mad? I almost thought it was a bad joke being played on me. I was a little angry with him at first because I couldn't believe that this happened. She proceeds to go off on me, shouting like, he's a witch. He's lucky I don't fight him. I said, whoa. She's pulling up with you've heard of fisticuffs, but have you heard of baby seat cuffs?
Yeah, it's like a WWE, but instead of the folding chair, it's just like, oh, watch out! They got the toddlers ages 1 to 2 car seat. There's plastic everywhere.
Just like little like giant boxing gloves, just like strapped to their arms, or they're a whole like cyborg made out of them, you know,
like the Hulk hands, but they're just
they're like a
giant
robot
car seats,
a robot made of baby car seats. You know, Dakota, I think you've transferred your tangents into me. I think we just our spirits switched places today.
I think so.
Wow,
because that was a real good one.
Thank you.
I was like, I can't get over that. Just like the strapping it on like it's like the Captain America's shield. Stop.
Hey, he inspired me, man. That was a Dakota-inspired quip right there.
I'm just listening to your words.
Hashtag free Jacoda.
He is listening to our words tightly.
Real tight. I said, whoa, but I couldn't get a word out. She tells me I'm only going to take his side anyways, and how she was unaware that he was going to be there. I felt embarrassed and walked away from her because she was so angry. After that, we left, but not before my boyfriend apologized to my mom and other sister, who was just standing there the whole time, not saying anything, but looking at me as if I deserved it. If he ever offered them in any way, he told them if they have an issue and it's about him, just come to him about it and they can talk it out instead of taking their frustration out on me. My sister just tells him that he should have just dropped me off and waited outside. Dude, that sister is bugging out.
Why? Like, it's so weird. What a weird move. You are weird. That's weird.
Stop. Yeah, you are a weirdo. That needed to be said.
You do not want peace.
Bro.
You want problems always.
A buffet.
And that's really weird at a 1-year-old's birthday party.
At your 1-year-old's birthday party.
You're somehow making this about your beef with someone you should really not be striving to have beef with.
But they can't handle baby seats.
Apparently not.
So you got to throw them at them.
Apparently not.
That's how that works?
Yeah.
Dakota. Oh, so I couldn't believe it. Neither can we. So we go home. Days go past, and I don't hear from my family. I finally call my mother to let her know that the situation really stressed me out, and I'm already going through some complications with my pregnancy. So for my sake and my unborn child's safety, I won't be coming to visit for a while until after my child is born. And my oldest sister is always there, and I don't feel like facing her at the moment. But before I could get anything out, my mother cuts me off and tells me I'm wrong for inviting my boyfriend without asking my sister.
That's actually, when it's put like that, that's tricky, but also like...
They do have problems, and he wasn't invited.
So, wait. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I mean, if you're not invited, you're not invited.
I wonder if we also have an unreliable narrator here. I think the sister's crazy for sure. But
I mean, but like maybe we've been off the whole time and the boyfriend sucks.
what if everyone sucks?
I don't know. There's got to be a reason, right? There's got to be a reason beyond what we've read here why like he is so not liked, and that the mom is immediately like, yeah, you shouldn't have, like, is backing up now. Mom's now backing up the sister because it is weird. It's like, I don't know. It's like, why do you? Now I'm starting to think a little differently. I think you knocked my brain a little loose in the sumo ring.
Dude, well,
something's going on here. I don't know. Info. Boyfriend? Bad? Good? Question mark.
Let us know. We're going to figure out. So before I could get anything out, mother cuts me off and tells me I'm wrong for inviting my boyfriend without asking my sister. Once again, I was taken aback, and my mother asked me if I thought I was wrong too. I told her no, I didn't think I was, and my mother gets mad at me and says if it was her and she didn't like my boyfriend, she would be pissed off too. I told her I didn't call to go back and forth with her. She frustrated me to the point of me forgetting what I wanted to tell her in the first place. So I quickly told her that I won't be coming around for a while, and I'll let her know when the baby is born. Oh.
And another layer of this complex lasagna has revealed itself. And if it has already been revealed, I'm sorry for my brain not being.
I'm also lost. I think it might be the simple answer, which is just everyone sucks here.
Yeah, it's like maybe don't like we
don't know why this is like one of those the TikTok videos of like white people lasagna where it's just like 3 giant slabs of cream cheese and noodles put around, and they just have these weird steps and you don't know what's going on.
Italians,
and they're like, an Italian told me how to make this.
That's not Italians. I'm sorry for what you just had to hear.
It's cream cheese.
Right.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It's creamy and it's cheesy.
Cream cheese is the step nephew of ricotta. I don't know why I just said that. I don't know. This story's confusing me.
Yes.
I'm confused.
We're as confused as the cream cheese ricotta casserole, okay? We are absolutely, our gabbers are flasted.
But it's like, you got to know that you're starting stuff if you don't invite the baby daddy. But also, like, is the baby daddy trash? I know people who can get in, who have been in relationships with trash people.
That's right.
And they're like, I don't know. Are they trash? And it's like, dude, yes. How do you not see it? So it's like, there could be more of that.
Yeah.
And they're always real reluctant to say that they're trash. So I am sensing that the boyfriend sucks.
Interesting.
That's my spidey sense.
Honestly, I think it's the sister. I think she's the main culprit here.
Oh no, mom backed her up.
I told her I'd let her know when the baby is born that I love her and goodbye, and I hung up the phone. Afterwards, she sends me long text messages saying that I'm ungrateful and how I never appreciated what she's done for me and for my son. All false, Opie says. Things escalated when my boyfriend texted my mom and told her respectfully to stop ganging up on me, and it's stressing me out.
Uh-oh, I think I was wrong. Uh-oh, I might be wrong.
So my mom does not take this well and curses him out and says a load of unnecessary things to him and disrespects his family and says, see who will be there for us, and that he is cut off. We had no contact with him. Thanksgiving went past. Then my birthday in December, and none of my family reached out to wish me a happy birthday, all because my mom assumed I wanted to cut them off. Remember, she never let me finish what I wanted to say.
In reference to the phone call that was made,
like,
she's
hey,
like, and then eventually I couldn't even remember what I wanted to tell her.
I'll see you when the baby's born, which at face value, we're like, okay, you're cutting her off and letting her on to see the baby, but I'm guessing we're imminently going to get the context we so desperately need.
Everyone in this story needs to go to the moon.
Yeah, dude. To go over there, man.
Go on the moon.
You got to do a couple of revolutions and then run it back.
The Sea of Tranquility.
We need to figure it out. But in a text, I told her I wanted space from my sisters, not cutting off contact, but she did what she wanted to do. Cut to now, I sent my mom and sisters a letter before Christmas stating I miss them and how if bringing my boyfriend to the party seemed disrespectful, and I set boundaries with them about being rude to him. I told them I'm here when they are ready to talk. So far, I feel like it was like, guys, you're going to get it. You're going to see it. And it's like, you still told your mother, hey, I'll reach out to you after the baby's born.
Yeah, it's
right?
What are the boundaries?
And she's like, I didn't cut her off. And I'm like, I mean, you literally said I won't talk to you till the baby's born.
Yeah.
I mean, is that next week? Or is that like...
It does seem
she's 7 months pregnant.
So,
like 2 months.
But yeah, it does seem like a whatever, shut up, don't talk to me.
Yeah. OP.
But like, also, I'm way more on OP's side now than I was 5 minutes ago because it does sound like the mom and the sister suck.
Mom and sister suck, and the apple did not fall far from the tree.
Unless OP sucks.
I think OP might also suck.
Moon. Rocket to the moon. Trebuchet to the moon, and everyone gets to look at the blue marble and go, can't we all just get along? That's what the moon is for.
That's what you guys need to think about right now.
The moon's like, can't we all just get along?
Long and hard, ladies and gentlemen. Well, only my mother reached out after that letter, and she didn't say she was sorry. She didn't even want to get into the details of what happened, but she tells me I should apologize to my sister, and she doesn't want to get involved in me and my sister's drama. How ironic. I told her, no, I don't think it was wrong, but I do see how she feels, but it wasn't my intent to anger her. I told her how they didn't consider me being pregnant and the distance I didn't want to travel alone, and just how my mom blindly took my sister's side without letting me speak in November. Maybe we're getting more context. She gave me the excuse I said earlier about her assuming that I wanted no contact, even though I have messages telling her the opposite. And if you are as confused as we are right now, in not just the story, but in life, you need a guide. You need 6 people who can tell you what is right from wrong, what is good, and what is goofy. Ladies and gentlemen, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to your podcast, and type OK Storytime. We have 104 days of content.
All it takes.
That's all it takes.
What's that? We just added another episode. Crazy.
That's another hour plus of content.
And we are also, we are, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you right there.
Step it, brother.
We're confused. We are so confused. And if anyone didn't catch that, you saved it because at the end, OP put a double negative into that sentence that did not need to be there. That would have confused us even more.
I had to correct it. Everyone needs just a break from each other. it's going to the moon vibes. Go to the moon, think about it, run around, and come back.
Yeah.
But are they all going to mutually agree? Hey, we need a break and let's take some time and then come back together?
I really feel like the mom and the sister are the kind of people who'd be like, oh, so you need space? You just hate us. You just hate all of us, don't you? You're just the worst.
You want some space? Yeah, you want some space? Well, guess what? Here's enough space for a baby seat. Here's a baby seat. Yeah.
Oh.
Here's baby seat space.
Oh.
Hey, here's 2.
Oh.
Here's freaking 2 baby seats. I'm pummeling you with a WWE SmackDown.
It's the baby car seat from the top rope.
That's right. Well, there's a little bit of the story. Maybe all of our answers will finally be answered in these next 3 sentences. Let's buckle our seatbelts and see it. It's baby seatbelts, that is. So it's only me and my mother that are speaking now, and she's acting like nothing happened and wants to come around me and the kids, but she still hasn't spoken to my boyfriend at all. Me and him aren't comfortable with my mom keeping our son anymore, and she mentioned a few times how she wants to soon. I haven't told her yet that I don't want to. I'm still hurt by all of this. Am I the a-hole for not apologizing to my sister? My mom keeps trying to pressure me to apologize after I sent a letter initially.
And nothing was clear, and everything was the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let us know what you think about that. People are asking for a TLDR. I couldn't even give you one. TLDR?
Everyone sucks.
What?
Everyone sucks.
TLDR, unclear.
It's completely unclear.
There was a toddler's birthday party.
Yeah.
And it escalated from there.
Yes.
And now we're on the moon.
That's
and
right there.
that is going to have to do.
Boom.
Because that's the end of that story.